Morty. Rick and Morty.
Definitely not a temporary image in the background here of Lego.
They will never see the temporary image. Yeah.
Let me describe this image in the background as Lego She and Lewis from Beastars making out.
Anyway, Rick and Morty. We really want to talk about this season. We wanted to do it weekly, but like, how you gonna do that when you got like 7 million fucking manga to talk about? You know what I'm saying?
And adding more as we go.
Kill us, Thurman. Say a thing.
Oh,
stop looking at porn and talk. I'm calling you out.
I am
this
not.
Bitch in the background looking for a Pornhub video.
He is looking at porn. That's true.
I am a pervert. I'm in like a well, what's a good pervert in fiction? That's not like completely like cop worthy. Right?
That's Roshi.
No, Master Roshi's very good.
Master Roshi straight up chasing bitches around. Like that's not good, man. If he was around now, he'd fucking like spark a national movement.
He kind of did in that one Super episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The best non-shitty pervert you can think of in fiction. That's me. That respects women. But low pervert. You know what I'm saying? Little pervert.
Sure, whatever you say.
Darkness.
Anyway, Rick and Morty. So I'm saying that my favorite scene is Rick and Morty of all time.
I disagree, and I think that Thurman is on that recency bias.
Cringe.
No, I'm just telling you, it's not a bad season. It could hit second best,
but
to say it's best, ridiculous.
I think it goes like season 2.
Season 2 is the best season of Rick and Morty still. Yeah. This maybe, I think this could be, I could put this at the second best. No, bro, that's high key. Do you know what recency bias means?
No.
You don't know what it means?
I didn't know what it means.
It's because it's new in your brain. If you fucking binged all the seasons right now, I guarantee you it wouldn't be a favorite season.
First of all, that's cap because I've missed many times where I said like, okay, this is good, but the old one's still better. I don't have recency bias, so you can suck on David's big fat cock for all I care.
David, how big? David, no.
Gone.
I started tugging on his belt, but he walked away.
Little kinky stuff going on here. Okay, I see. What? Okay, fuck Hearthstone. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Hearthstone. Alright, so,
this video demonetized.
Why do you act like we monetize?
Support our Patreon.
Why do you act like we have one?
We will eventually.
That old joke. Anyway, before people start getting upset because we go on tangents, apparently
definitely not.
Shut up and talk about Rick and Morty. Oh, jeez, I gotta be careful hitting your arms with your anorexic fucking. I can snap his arm like a twig.
Bro, the tangents, bro. They don't like the tangents, man.
No, some people love the tangents. Rick and Morty, talk about it.
Okay,
why is it your favorite season, Therm?
Honestly, because I don't know about you guys, but I think this season definitely was I wouldn't even say it's the lowest of Rick, but it definitely made Rick seem more human. Because as we go through each season kind of had Rick kind of prove he was powerful, right? Like in one season we see him fucking beating some strong ass dudes. Like in season 3 we saw this motherfucker, like with prep time, like beating a whole like villain that like a well-known superhero team was doing, right?
Well, more impressively, in my opinion, in season 3, beating the entirety of the galactic like government basically at the same time as beating the Citadel of Ricks.
Yeah, Rex.
A bunch of his own alternate versions. Those are like the two most powerful things in the universe. And what I'm glad that you brought that up, because that brings me into what I love about season 4's finale. Is that they came to this realization. He's like, oh, well, why aren't you guys fucking coming after me? And Tammy's like, oh, we realized that if we just don't fuck with you, you're a non-threat. Which is so great. Because Rick is that kind of guy who, he even says to Beth, oh, you're in your here save the galaxy phase, right? Which makes sense. If you had all this power, there'd be a chunk of time where you're like, wow, I'm going to use it for good. I'm going to go around and be like Star Wars, do that good shit. And then Rick just started to not care. And I love that for the longest time, the Galactic Federation, or what do they call themselves? I don't even know. The bug people, galaxy.
Yeah.
No, it was Galactic Federation. That's right.
Was it right? Okay, yeah. So like, they're for the longest time, they're probably thinking like, man, he's got this technology, he's got so much power, we got to take him out. But then like some genius was like, wait a minute, guys. He never comes after us. It's always us going after him. And that's true. Think about season 2.
Yeah.
There's never a fucking moment where Rick was like, I gotta go get the No, bro. It's always them coming after him, and then he fucks their shit. So some genius at the fucking coffee meeting was like, wait, let's just not fuck with him.
Just sit back and casually observe. If he tries to fuck some shit up, we go after him.
I love that, and like that's exactly what Rick wants. He even says in that episode, like, the best thing to do is to scope out who's going to take over the galaxy and try to figure out how to get ignored by them. But it's funny because as Rick does, he's got this ego about him. So like that's what he wants, but you can tell he's annoyed by it. Like, oh, you're going to fucking ignore me? Yeah, what?
What?
Yeah, because the thing I like about it is like just all of that, right? Like we've seen Rick when he fought the president, like he's done a lot of amazing shit. But this, I've noticed that Rick is taking a lot of L's this season. That losing to the guy on the dream train, losing to the god, losing to Phoenix person, like he's lost a lot. Like usually we don't see him lose that much.
To be fair, the dream train wasn't even like our Rick. It was like a simulation of a Rick on like a piece of merchandise, a toy train from a Citadel of Ricks. It wasn't even a real Rick.
Yeah, so but it's still.
But I feel what you're saying for sure.
We've seen him lose so much. Like, losing fights so much, even though we've seen him win so much. It's such a huge shift. It's almost like it seems like Rick isn't as powerful as... Because when in season 1 through 3, we know Rick is super powerful. Like, we know this. Like, he's proven himself. But season 4 he loses that sort of, like, what is it? Formidability, right?
What is that word?
He's not as formidable.
Formidable, yeah.
Like... You can argue and say, well, he's fought more stronger people, I guess, whatever. What a bleach route. But
he had a big old anime fight with Phoenix person.
But I'm saying that Rick has lost way more than we've seen him ever, and he's become, like we've seen the family come closer together without Rick, right? So it's just like it's kind of humanizing him in a way. Like he's not as invincible as we thought he was. He's not as unbeatable as we thought he was, as the other seasons made us to believe. And I like that. I think they did a very good job to enforcing that. Also, still hate Jerry, piece of shit. I always love a season where they shit on Jerry, and this is perfect. There's a perfect shit on Jerry. Morty did it. Summer did it. Beth did it. God.
You don't worry that like he's gonna become the show's Meg from Family Guy, where they just like it's just kind of like I just kind of cringe. Like, not that I like Jerry, but like sometimes it's so over the top. I'm like, Jesus Christ, can we just like write this character out of the show? Like, I'm sick.
I mean,
go ahead, David.
Pretty much like been their point to make him kind of the Meg, to be the punching bag. But
it just gets old to me eventually.
The
Jerry bits are the most like old to me bits of the whole show.
Yeah, it's definitely like that tropey bullshit. Like, okay, we need to move past this, but at the same time, there has to be that one. In any kind of animated adult sitcom, they have to have that one character that's like the abuse packer, to where they just sit there and just like, okay, we're gonna shit on this character. It's Steve in American Dad usually. It's fucking Meg and Family Guy. You got
Shut Up Meg.
Yeah, you got your Shut Up Megs. You got your fucking
like
go out there.
Like even comparing like the Meg and Jerry stuff. Like Meg is an actual good character. Like Seth MacFarlane kind of hit or miss with his character. Let's be honest. But Meg was actually not a bad character. She's actually one of my favorite characters from Family Guy. But it's just
definitely has the most growth.
Yeah, but it's just like difference is though. It's just like Jerry as a character, what they did well was that he's a shitty person. Like we've established this. Meg isn't a shitty person. Like they shit on her just because it's boring with Meg because they have no reason to shit on Meg. Meg's not a shitty human being. She doesn't do it to herself. Like the shit that Meg does is the same thing Peter or Chris does, but they don't shit on Chris or Peter.
So I have a question for you. The main shitting on Jerry this season that I think of was the camping shit. But like you're saying he's a shitty person. He did nothing wrong there. Like that was such an unnecessary shit. He was literally just trying to have a good time with his kids. Like, oh, let's go camping together as a family.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, and even Morty's like, Jesus, Summer, like some, like you're turning into Rick here. I don't know. Like there are points where he's a douchebag and he deserves it, but like sometimes it's like, man, come on, he's just trying.
I definitely agree that Summer went out of line, but the thing is though, I'm biased as fuck. I can care so little about Jerry. Even if he's in the right, I still don't give a shit. I just don't like him as a character. Like he's like the Quagmire to me. I really hate Quagmire.
Yeah.
I hate Quagmire so fucking much. It's just like I hate, and it's just like I don't like Jerry. Jerry's just annoying. So anytime they shit on Jerry, whether it be justified or not, I'm happy. Bring the smile to my face.
Now, what was your favorite episode this season? Because I'll let you answer first. What was your favorite episode?
Me or David? Both.
You first, then David. If you can't think of it, I'll go David first.
Yeah, go David, because I
gotta say I'm torn between the finale because it was so much growth for Rick as a character, and the Vat of Acid.
Vat of Acid episode is my favorite. It was just so unique. And, like, I loved how so much of the episode was in the Vat of Acid. So, like, that episode, that right there is a prime Rick and Morty episode for me. Mm-hmm. That is, like, the ultimate. Like, that's up there with, like, some of the greats, like the one where they're going in the universe to power his car battery. I think that's one of the best ones ever. Yeah, like that one was so good because it took so many turns I didn't expect, right? So at first, because it's called the Vat of Acid episode, I thought that it was going to be the entire episode in the Vat of Acid. I thought as it kept dragging, I legitimately was like, they're going to be in this fucking Vat of Acid the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, I see it.
It's so funny. But then it does the thing that I fucking love when Rick and Morty does. It takes a complete 180. And Morty's like,
shows it.
Yeah, yes. And Morty's like, give me this fucking like save state in real life machine. And it just goes so dark. So deliciously dark, where he actually gets like a person he genuinely loves. It's not like this toxic like chasing relationship like with Jessica, where it's just like a dumb crush with this hot girl that like has zero personality. He finds this like genuine love, and he's like really happy for the first time. So happy that he literally puts away. You see, he literally doesn't make a single save state after he meets that girl. That's how happy he was. And then the plane crash, and then they go through all that shit, barely surviving. And then you want to talk about Jerry really being a fucking Jerry, ruining that whole thing. And then to top it all off, I fucking love it when Rick and Morty does this. Rick's like, nah, bitch. That would be time travel. I don't fuck with time travel. We've been over this. Every single time you push that button, it was murdering a fucking alternate Morty, and you were replacing them. Oh, beautiful.
Like, you just killed half a dozen
more.
Yeah.
Hundreds. There were times where he was just, like, trying to jump over a fence and, like, missing. I love it. That was prime. I literally think I liked, like, it was that one and then the finale, and then I really liked, the first episode was good, too, where he kept dying and, like, going to different fascist realities.
I would probably say the finale and
don't be dissing on that Vat of Acid episode, bro. That shit fucking came out.
That shit was good. I have to remember all the other episodes too. I have to think. Because okay, well, I'll get to it. But
well, here's the question: you were talking about how this is your favorite season. So rank the seasons for me. I'll give you my season ranking. It's best one is 2. I'd go 2, 4, 1, 3.
Yeah, same. Yep.
I'll say 4, 2, 1, 3.
I'm glad that everyone agrees that 3 was like the weak point.
Well, I mean, there were decent episodes.
That was just where you could tell that the popularity had gotten to them, and they kind of had a little panic, like, oh fuck,
we're a viral meme on everything.
Yeah, and they had that was the Pickle Rick debacle, which is a bad memory for everyone.
And the Szechuan sauce.
Oh yeah. And honestly, like, I feel like, and then the really shitty, disappointing, not at all interesting, like, it was fun, but, like, it didn't, like, do much for the story, the season finale.
Yeah.
And, like, the weird thing where, like, the best episode of that season was the middle episode, where it was, the one where it was evil Morty taking over the Citadel. That should have been the finale. And if that was the finale, that would have been a much better season.
Exactly.
So, like, when that was in the middle, we were expecting bigger shit for the finale, and then it was just him fighting the president, which was good, but it should have been, like, any other episode.
I think that was just Dan Harmon shitting on, in his own way, shitting on Trump, because you can tell he's clearly very much anti-Trump.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, how can I get away with this and not pull either a South Park or a Family Guy, because they've both done it.
But no, Season 4, I'm very happy about Season 4. There was... maybe 2 episodes that I was like on, but the rest of them I thought were fucking prime.
The
The dragon episode,
The dragon one and then the camping one, the one where he fucked a planet. Those are the 2 that I was like, all right.
I'm like, okay, so that's now a Rule 34 tag.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying, Thurman?
Yeah, that's true. Those 2 episodes are kind of like meh to me.
Yeah, those are the meh ones.
Because it's crazy because we all thought, like the cat shit.
That's such a fucking red herring, bro.
I thought something like
it could still come down the line.
Certainly, yeah.
Because we've seen Evil Morty make a
Well,
return.
so I know where some people here are not big fans of the game theory guy, but like he did a video, Matt Pat, about how like the whole lesson of that. If you go back and watch that episode, they keep saying, "What's your deal? Where are you from? Whatever." The cat kept saying, "Don't ask questions. The point is just to have fun. Let's go to Florida. Why they don't ask questions there?" So Matt Pat's theory was that the whole point of that plot line was the writers jabbing at the theorists, like not everything has to have an answer. Can't we just have fun? So like his theory was that that's never going to come to anything, and it's literally just like to fuck with the fans.
I mean, it could definitely be, because now we see that there was some form of an answer for the clone Beth theory.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad, that was cool.
Oh my god, let's talk about the clone Beth shit, bro. Like, oh my god,
I mean,
bro.
the script on Star Wars.
So he was just like, because it's caught me off guard, right? The music. Oh, I already got the music on my phone. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, see now, Rick and Morty has these moments, like the lay it down, let me see your hands, like when he's about to try to kill himself moment, the fucking like king of shit on the toilet moment, like the
Terry
fucking.
Folds.
Well, Terry Folds wasn't a sad moment, but also like the "I will make you hurt" at the end of season 2, which was peak Rick and Morty. By the way, that's the most excited I've ever been about Rick and Morty.
Right.
End of season 2. That was around the time. That was the year David and I met.
That's how.
And yeah,
fucking.
So
Jesus.
David and I were hanging out talking about the season finale of Rick and Morty season 2.
And the end of Bleach.
Yep, and it was around the same time Bleach was ending, around the same time the Hisoka Corolla fight was happening in the Hunter x Hunter manga. All this beautiful shit at once. But yeah, I'm trying to remember why I was bringing that up in the first place. What was I saying?
The music.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry to cut you off. Yeah, that fucking I love when Rick and Morty does that. Go ahead, Thurman.
Because it was so good, because I knew for a fact that they had a clone. Like, she was kind of that Beth was a clone, right? So I liked the way it did it, because it was just like, Beth was like, I don't want to do. Rick, you have to decide, right? What got me, you have to decide if you want me in your life.
What kind of daughter do you want? And Rick was not strong enough mentally to make that decision. He was like, no, fuck it, randomize. And he realizes how scummy he is, because he doesn't even have the strength to make a decision like that.
Because it's funny, because I was looking at a bunch of YouTube comics and things on it, and it's just like, Rick basically did like a what if, right? He basically made a what if Beth. Like, what if she didn't marry the bullshit ass Jerry, right? Like, and I don't even, honestly speaking, I don't even like, this is, I wouldn't say fault him, but like, I see what he was trying to do, right? Because Beth clearly Beth was getting convinced, to go out there, because I mean, I still stand by the fact that she was not going to get back with Jerry if that was her. I still stand by that. So it's interesting, because we have this situation right now, right? So where she was like, okay, so it's up to you to decide. So he made a clone and then switched. So now we don't know which clone, because it made sense, right? Because I was just like, Rick, you know which one's the real Beth. Why are you saying
he doesn't?
Like, no, because shut the fuck up. I was like, when the episode was going on, I was like, Rick, you know who the real Beth is. Why are you playing these games? Like, because during the episode, I was like, there's got to be a bigger method going on right now, because Because it made me like switch between them. Like, is the badass Beth the real Beth? Oh, well, maybe the not so badass Beth the real Beth, right? Because I mean,
well, I think the message at the end is that it doesn't even really matter. Because really, what is the difference between real Beth and clone Beth? They're the same. It's just like how in this show, it really does not matter. Because like it's just like how there's a million fucking Ricks. Like literally between episodes, we could switch from Rick to Rick to Rick and never know.
Right.
Unless it was like one of the more obvious ones, like Nazi
it could be
Rick.
a space dandy, right, David?
Say again?
It could be a space dandy.
It could be, like... See...
And I think that was the point. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean?
I really like how they both best accept the fact that, Rick is Rick, so it's just like, fuck it, we'll coexist.
Yeah, and like, I also love, too, that, like, at the end there, Rick, again, wanted to have the power in that dynamic. Like, all right, come and find out, and then they're like, oh, we don't care anymore. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean you don't care? Come on, let's find it. You know what I mean? And what's interesting, too, is... I hope that this is lasting consequences for the show. I hope, like, Badass Beth is, like, a recurring character now.
Yeah. To me, I was thinking back to, like, the Mind Crystal where they did all the, like, fucking incepting of shit. But, like, or even, like, the Power Crystal where, like, Morty's just, like, fucking this badass, almost terrorist.
Akira.
Like, literally Akira.
No more
like,
Akira stuff with my son, please.
Like, he literally turned into basically a terrorist with that fucking crystal. Like, we have the cops here surrounding him.
Oh, wait, bro. Too real right now? Fucking all the Meeseeks. Remember, because he's like, boo, 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 boo. Meeseeks, shield me from the law.
Oh, God.
That right there is a prime thing to have at the protest, man.
Just a Meeseek box. Boom, 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 boom.
Meeseeks, assemble!
Right behind the 7-foot antique.
Meeseeks, do not stop until we have tangible legislation on police brutality. Thank you. Now go, wreak havoc. Do it in any way, because their whole thing is you do it no matter what. We have to do this. Oh, that'd be beautiful. What are you going to do? Arrest a Meeseek?
Their goal is complete.
They're gonna die regardless, so...
Say what?
They're gonna die regardless.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So no one gives a fuck about Meeseeks.
Oof.
It's true. No one gives a fuck.
Meeseeks' lives matter?
No. Oh. Ooh. Listen, man. You can guilt trip me over the fucking fictional ass Meeseeks. Anyway,
I had to try.
As you were saying, Thurman.
So I just like the whole, like, it really felt like Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon was just like on their A game this season, because I love how the episode they're just like, oh, we're gonna just break the canon, like piss off the fans, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah, the story train was all about like fucking with your expectations, because it's like the scene that they showed was like exactly what like fans expect, like the big epic finale with like all the Meeseeks and all the Ricks and Evil Morty, and it's like, no, we're not gonna be predictable. We're not gonna do what you want us to do. I love that shit.
All right.
And the season. Go ahead, David.
Like the Dream Train, the thing is just beautiful. Like, there was so many different ways I could have went, and that feels like that was the one episode they're like, we could probably make like 50 different drafts of it, and then if the inevitable happens here, because we're in this leak relevant like state and like all fiction, like if one leaks out, we can just change the script midway.
It was funny because they used a lot of the story train shit for the trailer.
Yeah.
So people thought like, oh fuck, look at Tammy's coming back. Tammy did come back, but like they used like the fake Tammy coming back in the trailer. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, that was their little blue balls to the fandom, and like this is the time where they really need to fuck with the fandom because it's gotten so out of control.
Yeah, it's very important. Stephen Moffat, head writer of Doctor Who, from seasons 5 to 10, had a really great quote where he was like, you always want to stay, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically was like, you always want to stay at least one step ahead of your audience. Mm-hmm. Because the second your audience figures out what you're doing, like, they're going to leave.
Yeah.
You always have to be surprising them. Audiences think they know what they want, but they don't. Right? Because if you give them exactly what they both want and expect, that's not exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and that's kind of the downside to having this style show usually is like it starts to get into this like, well, here's the formula that works and gets ratings. Yeah. That's the trap the Family Guy fell into. That's the trap that The Simpsons has fallen into and has never really recovered from.
And that's why I'm really proud of Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon for this, is because, like, think about how much of, like, a media corporate machine Rick and Morty has become. Like, in between every episode, you got Wendy's ads, you got Pringles ads. Mm-hmm. It's fucking crazy. But it's so amazing to me that we're at a point in life now where Rick and Morty is so successful that they are willing to advertise on a show with fascist jokes, Nazi jokes, 9/11 jokes, Pearl Harbor jokes.
Well, they kind of avoided the 9/11 joke.
It was there.
It was there, but like, oh.
They literally say it, like, they cut back, and Beth's like, so you 9/11'd in Alien City? And she's like, oh, they're almost 9/11'd, thank you. So, like,
you Pearl Harbor,
do you realize how beautiful that is? Because that's the kind of thing, like, what we see on, like, YouTube, for example, is, like, people with edgy humor can't get, like, any advertisement money because corporations are bitches, and they're scared of fucking, advertising on something that might hurt someone's feelings because, we might lose a couple dollars, yada, yada, right? But, like, because the more shit that we elevate and get popular that has dark jokes, right? So Deadpool was an example. They didn't want to do an R-rated superhero movie because they were worried it wouldn't succeed.
And then it was.
And then it did. So Rick and Morty. No sane fucking PR consultant would think that would concede. It did, right? Yep. Our generation, we know what we fucking like, and if the corporations want to survive, they're going to have to advertise to us through the things we like, which is dark humor. So I'm hoping that Rick and Morty is one of those things that's going to help these advertisers understand that it's okay to advertise on fucked up dark humor, and I love that. The fact that we can go from a 9/11 joke to a Wendy's ad back to the 9/11 joke is beautiful to me.
It really is, like, and we kind of owe a little bit of success to the South Park era too.
Oh yeah.
But even that had its fucking detractors, like the fucking mothers movement, like, I don't want dick jokes and shit jokes and uncle fucker jokes.
And if this is anything, one last thing, and then I'll hand it over to you, Thurman. If this proves anything, it's that all you need to do is stick to your values, stick to what you believe in, stick to what you want to make, not back down, and you'll win. Once they realize they can't affect you with their fucking whining and crying and moaning, they back down. You know what I mean? Because now South Park has this, like, immortality about it. Yep. You literally cannot do anything to it. They can get away with anything. Joe Rogan has talked about this on his podcast. He's like, South Park literally is immune. Like, no one even goes after it anymore.
They don't go after it, but they have caved at least once.
Anyway.
Bro, are you kidding me? People have tried to go after it, but then the fan base is like, shut the fuck up. No
right,
one cares.
But you know what I mean, though, right? In the same way that iDubbbz was kind of immune until this simp thing, but, like, you know, like, iDubbbz was kind of immune. Like, certain people have this, like, immunity because it's just what everyone expects. You know what I mean?
Because it's
no,
crazy.
You're misunderstanding me. Of course they're going to go after it, but, like, some people cave and some people don't. So, for example, South Park has done a billion worse things than, like, let's say the guy that directed Guardians of the Galaxy, and they still had to go through that whole rigmarole of, like, firing him, rehiring him. Whereas with South Park, sure, there might be bitching, but everyone's like, yeah, well, that's just South Park. Move on, you know?
The only time they've caved is when there was actual threat against them, to the point where, like, they had death threats. The fucking studio's like, okay, we need to censor out Muhammad. That's the only time they really, like, caved.
They'd be wild, and they'll legitimately fucking, like, bring a plane over and fucking assassinate you.
So stupid.
But that's the point I'm making, though, Thurman, is that like, the more you show you don't give a shit, the more immune you are.
I've seen people try on Twitter to be like, oh, well, South Park is the reason why I don't comedy. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, South Park definitely is important.
Like, it's people complain about South Park. But I see what your point is, and I like it because Rick and Morty...
Can you stop clicking, please? Because we can't hear it in the video.
Oh, my God. You get to hear it? Okay.
So anyway, I'll end this video right now if you're going to be a punk ass about it. Like, this is I care about the background noise, and people are going to be listening to this with headphones, and I don't want them to be hearing clicking consistently in the background.
He's on page 752 Pornhub right now. Can't find something his nut.
Yeah, so anyway...
I would not be surprised that's what he's doing, by the way. He's going on full-on rants to me, like, oh, man, I've seen all this porn already before. He's seen everything.
Yeah, alright, so anyway, as I was saying, right, like, basically...
Cookie clicker over here.
What the fuck are you...
If he's playing Cookie Clicker,
literally,
he's
it was like, fucking, I don't want to, like, fuck up, it was like that speed clicking. It was unbelievable. Pissing me off. That's why I called you a punk ass. I don't often use this phrase punk ass. You know this.
I've never heard that before. That's like,
I was pissed. I was like, because you had an attitude. You were like, oh. I was like, bitch, are you fucking?
I didn't have an no.
You absolutely did.
No, I didn't. You see. So I know we're best friends because we both assume shit. You assumed I did, but I didn't. I don't care. You said, well, stop the clicking nicely. Why would I be having an attitude back that? I'm not Twitter. You know.
Anyway, what were we saying?
I get mad when my friend asks me for something and I have an opinion. You know, we're not, we don't do that here. Sorry, but anyway, yeah. I was just saying because I like that this one. It felt like a different take on Rick and Morty. Like that's what I was saying, right? Like one thing I like about it is that it made Rick seem like, because all 3 seasons this man felt like a fucking god, and this one he felt like a human, right? He felt like he thought he was on top of the world, but then he got knocked down a peg, right? And then we have situations to where characters like Beth, Summer, Morty, they're getting, because one thing I really want is I want Morty to finally, and we're starting to see he's starting to break. I don't really want him to break away from Rick per se, but I want him to, I don't want to say be another Rick. I don't want to be a fucking Gohan.
How to put this? The main theory, but it's almost too obvious at this point. So I wonder what they're gonna do to like make it different. But like the main theory for a long time has been that the Morty adventures that with Rick that we're seeing right now is like the precursor / origin story of the evil Morty we'll eventually see. Like that's what I've been, because to me that makes a lot of sense, but it's again almost too obvious because everyone thinks that. But like we do see this. I think a good example is like the Purge and all, like the Purge episode where like he told him like, oh no, you were just drugged to purge, but he really wasn't. And, like he's got anger issues and like the stress that Rick's putting him through, it's numbing him to all of this. And you're seeing Morty and Summer both become a lot more
Ricky.
fucked up, and Rickish. Whereas Rick is softening. Yeah.
So it's the classic like trope of almost role reversal here.
Yeah.
But it's Rick and Morty, so you're not going to get that stereotypical.
Yeah, they'll definitely mix up whatever. It's not going to be the theory everyone expects. For
no.
Sure.
What I'd almost think here is like this Rick might actually end up having to kill his Morty and use the coupon from the first season.
Oh, that's the darker shit.
I'd love it.
It's Rick and fucking Morty.
Give it to me. Oh.
It's Morty. Goddamn.
Imagine. Oh, fuck. So we know he's got an eye patch, right? So something's got to happen to his eye at some point. Mm-hmm. And I'm just waiting for like that's gonna be a big fucking moment. There's gonna be a moment where like this Morty's gonna get injured in the eye, and everyone's gonna be like, oh.
I mean, he did get punched in the eye by Rick before because he didn't stay in the fucking car.
Was it the same eye?
Who knows?
Somebody's got like frame by frame. Okay, so this is
no, but like imagine though for like David's theory, which I love, where like he sees his Morty, like because I could see Rick doing this, right? Because like don't let it fool you. Yes, Rick has human moments. That's even what he said in the finale there. It's a human moment. It's a human moment. But like he's still on his darker day. Just because this is a human thing, right? People go up and down. They have horrible moments. They have good moments. Mm-hmm. Do not put it past him just because we're seeing more human moments of him. Do not put it past him to do more fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like look at what he did with the fucking vat of acid stuff. He put Morty through that entire horrific shit just to fucking prove a point.
Oh yeah.
As fuck, man. I love him, but my man be petty sometimes.
Yeah, so imagine that pettiness taken to like an extreme, right? Like imagine Rick goes too far, pisses off Morty to a point where Morty's about to do some wild shit, like some, and then he has to like I love David's idea where like like I could see maybe
it's
Rick's,
Rick or Morty.
Maybe Rick's like hella drunk, like think like drunk Rick from like the pilot episode where he's like I'm just getting a neutrino bomb we gotta restart Morty,
go get your little friend Summer.
And so like let's say it was Jessica, Summer is his sister.
It's 3 fucking a.m. here.
Let's go get Summer and you can repopulate the human race.
I mean, technically they were siblings.
And then he was like, "Don't worry, bro. I won't get in on that."
It's wild, bro, because there were a lot of incest jokes.
Go ahead, Thurman.
There were a lot of incest jokes in this season. Like,
oh yeah, don't eat my ass because it'd be weird.
Like, bro, like they literally had an incest moment in the fucking
Don't forget the soul bonding sex orgy that they all had together.
Yeah, that they had.
The kissing with the fucking face huggers.
Yeah, the face huggers incest moment, right? They were like, they had
that's having a field day with this season. Let's face it.
Someone was like, "Hey, if I die, don't eat my ass, okay, bro?" Like, and they were like.
Also, I watched the TV. The CinemaSins people. They have like the one for TV shows, and then like so for that part, it was like, "Don't eat my ass," and they were like, "So I'm assuming boobs and vagina are okay."
And then it's crazy because it's just like, and then they're like talking about like the suit, brother sister teams in fiction, or like. Leia and Luke. Oh, they're
wow, yeah. Like, they really had that on the mind.
Oh, they were fucking. Yo, Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland are fucking bro.
See again, bro. The fact that
Bro.
like Wendy's, McDonald's, fucking what was the other place? Pringles. They're all okay with advertising on this shit, and I love it. It's so good.
Like my man, like they were like
just do
really
not
in
get-
Some motherfucker at Pringles was like, "All right, bro. I just want to make sure before we do this Brick and Morty Pringles ad that we may be associated with unfucking furls the scroll." Let's see, incest, 9/11, Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
child murder,
child slavery,
light BDSM.
dragon sex, soul bonds.
Like giving like first of all, that
That's
planet
on some
giving birth
Navi
shit
level
was
shit.
starving for life, bro.
Hold on, say it again, Thurman.
That planet giving birth was probably scarring for life.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. They're coming.
Oh, bro, that's so fucking weird.
You know Rick's like, it's one of those like Doctor Who moments where like they're showing like how alien the Doctor is, like how alien Rick is, where he's able to like look at a fucking porn website of planets.
I'm just like, how do you fuck a planet though? Like, how the?
Well, I can only imagine that he used some sort of device to enlarge his dick to like a planet size. You know he fucking could do that, right?
I think maybe like there's like some
Okay,
sort.
so
Hold on, I want to hear. Wait,
Just-
hold that thought. Let's go ahead, Thurman.
I just imagine there'd be like a hole in like there's like some like planet like something on the planet, right? That counts as like a
We
vagina.
saw it, bro. He said this is where the magic happened. Like that crater where she was giving birth was right where he fucked her too. It's just this is how it works. He said this is where the magic happened. I'm almost positive he said that when they walked up.
I'm pretty sure that was a line. Correct us in the comments. I know you Rick and
So
Morty
like that
stands
big ass
well.
crater, I guarantee you, he used some sort of device to make his dick all big, or maybe he just completely enlarge himself to like a giant Titan size and fuck the planet in space.
So
Like, there's
Armor
got
Titan Rick confirmed.
Someone make a fan art of this. Like I can see it happening. He fucking rides up in his fucking space car. He puts a fucking space helmet on, enlarges himself, and he's literally fucking like grabbing the planet and fucking using it like an Oni hole. I guarantee it.
Fucking Christ!
Ah man, look, I can see it.
That's what Rick. Because when you're Rick and you can do anything, you gotta fill your weekends somehow. Okay.
Here I was thinking maybe like gravity affected his body to where he could actually thrust a massive cock into this hole.
No, he went giant, bro. Because imagine the imagery of him holding the planet lovingly, like.
I don't
Holding
think
it lovingly as you're violently thrusting.
He also
I
had to
don't
find a
think he-
sentient planet.
I think he likes to fuck. I don't think this man likes to make love, bro.
Oh,
Like, he's not.
100%. Yeah, oh, he bareback like doggy style extreme fuck this planet for sure.
Like my man likes to fuck.
You can
Hey,
beat him
I'm
with a
with it.
literal god.
Yeah, I'm with it. I like to fuck too. You know, I'm a virgin. You know, that's right.
Video we needed face cam for.
Nah, bro, we're too ugly.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have to de-ugly ourselves first. You know what I'm saying?
one of us has done that.
I don't know. David's I don't know what the fuck this fashion is that he's doing. No man should show their stomach that much.
Bitch,
I
you
mean-
were fucking shirtless earlier.
Yeah, but not to the public.
Do what you gotta do. You know what I'm
I
saying?
go out like this.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna need if that's not fan art already. That's a hentai. I need.
That is a full-on
I would like to
doujinshi.
see. I would like to see Rick
Oh,
fucking that
Jesus.
planet. Any more thoughts, Thurman?
No, man. Shit. If they decide to do a season 5,
Of course. I don't know if you missed out on this. They already ordered like fucking 10 seasons.
Like this was a bulk order.
when it was like crazy fucking popular, they ordered something crazy like 96 episodes all at once. So like it's confirmed there's like at least like 5 to 10 more seasons of this.
that
yeah.
joke from the end of the first season was
Yeah.
made canon.
So yeah, there's no like we have this show for like 10 more years to come at least.
It's going to end up getting to the level of like fucking
Simpsons
stuff.
level?
No, I wouldn't picture them wanting to do this for
I
their entire
certainly
life.
hope that they would have enough.
I mean, to be fair, they already made a new show, so I'm like.
Well, I mean, one of them
no,
did.
that was just Justin. That wasn't Dan.
Oh.
But yeah, so
It's-
I could picture
they're both
this
writers,
going
right?
to like.
Both-
Hold on.
They're both writers.
So Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland make Rick and Morty. Justin Roiland and another different writer make that other one.
Oh, so both, like I said, they're both writers, right? Like,
I mean,
they
because Dan
both-
Harmon's made his own thing. Dan Harmon made a show called Community. Justin Roiland, I think this was his first like big show. He did like internet shit before.
But like I was saying, I can picture this going to like your South Park level, but not like to the 20, 30 fucking seasons either.
do we know if they're still enjoying it? Honestly,
It seems like it.
Because I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, I would keep doing it if I was enjoying it. Obviously, every good thing, all good things have to come to an end, of course. But you know, I feel like they're enjoying it to like they still have more thinking in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
so,
they clearly have creative freedom because, like, again, if
Adult Swim doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
oh,
and also like
a cartoon video, or we talk about how Adult Swim is better than Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and there's clearly the fact that they are able to do 9/11 jokes and and have Pringles and Wendy's commercials is just proves to me that they have full creative control over their shit.
I honestly, I think at this point, like the second Passion leaves, will be like dick on table, like I'm done.
I would hope so. I mean, like, it's going to be a thing because anytime something makes this much money, there's going to be incredible pressure.
Community made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying that's how they do it, right? There's going to be a fuck ton of pressure. Like, they'll offer them so much fucking money to keep going, and it'll just depend on if they have
I think Dan
willpower
Harmon
to walk away from that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, clearly Dan Harmon has the willpower to walk away, but does Justin at this point?
Right. Well, but I wonder if contract-wise, if one of them walks away, could they even continue it? I would hope that the contract would state that it'd have to be both of them. I would certainly hope. But again, I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Maybe their plan is like because I don't know how many they ordered. Do you want to Google? You see if you can find how many they actually ordered.
One sec.
But like, maybe the plan is.
My first tab's also Pornhub. I can't say anything.
Maybe the plan is that like they're thinking, okay, well after we do these like 10 seasons, then by then we could probably like end it there. You know.
At least I still have Harley Quinn.
I mean, yeah, like that is like the.
You realize that's like I don't know why you're saying that. Like we have like at minimum at least like 5 to 10 more years. What?
I thought because Rick and Morty's over.
Okay, so as of December 15th, 2019, 30 episodes of 36 had aired, and it had been announced it was renewed for 70 more episodes at that point.
At least 70 more episodes already ordered.
And that was in fucking October. It was ordered for that.
So what does that make? If each season's what, like 12? How many?
The season was 4, so.
No, a season was like 10.
Season 4 was 10.
So let's just say 10. If 70, that's like 70 more. Was that 70 more before season 4?
That was before that started.
So that'd be at least 6 more seasons.
Yeah.
So that and like considering how long it's usually like a year and a half, that's like a good. That would be hitting like 10 years at the pace they're going now, right? So that's like we have Rick and Morty for another decade at least.
Woo!
Basically.
Yep.
That's as long as One Piece.
Yeah, straight up.
Like
that's just crazy. I'm waiting for the Oda Dan. I'm ready for that Oda Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland crossover. You know, like Rick goes into the One Piece universe. The fuck up, bro. Imagine Rick fucking with Kaido. It's funny.
It's not happening. I hate to break it to you.
The fan art, yes.
Oda be making quote-unquote family-friendly shit. Right?
I can picture that being fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Rick made Katakuri. It's happening.
What, Rick fucked Kaido and made Katakuri?
No, Rick fucked Big Mom. You know he would.
Yeah. I'm fucking tired, man. Any final thoughts, predictions for future seasons, yada, yada, yada?
I definitely loved it, bro. This season was, oh my god, so good. It made me relive my love for Rick and Morty. This is why it's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. You know, like, it's up there with, like, Duck Dodgers, you know, Generator Rex, Invader Zim.
How do you rank Generator Rex so high?
I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's
good, but it's not like top tier.
It sounds like it's probably one of them like underrated gems.
It's on that gym category, but it's like the weakest of Man of Action's cartoons.
No. The weakest Man of Action's cartoon was the fucking Ben 10 reboot.
Did they actually have anything to do with that? I have legitimately not watched a single episode of that.
Yeah, you should make sure that that might be like a fucking Powerpuff Girls reboot situation where they didn't have anything to do with it.
I don't know.
I would double check.
I still see
I can just Google it right now.
We gotta end this video. I'm so tired. It's fucking 3:04 a.m.
Yeah, if he stayed up. Woohoo,
I love you, boo boo.
All right, well, I enjoyed it, man. Yeah, that's pretty much
Wait,
all I have.
I haven't said my final thoughts, bitch. So
Here's
like, when we get to this 5th season, I
in a year and a half.
In a year and a half, pretty much on point. Like,
if the world's still standing at this point.
Yeah, that is also another major factor at this point. I can picture it going 2 ways here. The way we're going.
Don't forget, Badass Beth, recurring character. I'm hoping.
We can definitely see like him trying to balance a life with 2 daughters at this point,
and Jerry having basically a dominatrix and more of a normal wife.
Yeah. Oh, she still wears the dick in the family.
I have a feeling she wouldn't. I don't see Badass Beth fucking Jerry. In fact,
no. She still has that. I don't like Jerry.
I would love for
she
her.
does.
Imagine a beautiful moment, Thurman. Imagine her like bringing home like this studly fucking guy, and like literally Jerry like cucking, like jerking off in the fucking like closet.
like his.
No.
Hold on, I want to see what Thurman. Go what?
It's like how his mom and dad were, right?
Yeah. Yo, full circle, bro.
I can see why they had this fetish. I found that
It's like super ripped, like buff fit. Beth fucking like a super ripped buff fit. The 2 peak pinnacle humans smashing.
Pinnacle.
Like I can see it going down that path of like we're trying to
that path.
We're trying to repair like this fucking.
Who was
relationship with like Space Pirate Beth and trying to balance like his actual daughter or whatever the role is here.
And then he gets overwhelmed and kills one of them.
It's like, you know what, this isn't working out. Shit, I didn't finish it.
I could see it and it'd be beautiful.
Or him just like sending the one back off to space.
Go ahead, Thurman. Sorry, every time you're talking I can't hear him.
Who can handle the cooch of Badass Beth? Like who you have to have a strong ass dick to handle that shit, right?
Yeah,
like
you have muscles are strong.
You have to have
the resurrected bird person.
Oh, yo, we didn't talk about that. He's got fucking Phoenix person in his garage now.
Yeah, like that still is like the scummiest of scum for friends.
He's gonna rebuild him, maybe.
He's gonna try and rebuild and rekindle that friendship after killing his wife.
I mean, to be fair though, the wife killed him.
Yeah, no,
so.
Tammy, he was only hypnotized to like Tammy.
So, like there's still that anger there, and you saw like, well, you're not ready yet. That is like the biggest of dick moves.
Just think about it, right? Because Rick is fucking smart. I'm pretty sure he's gonna find a way to wipe out the fucking mind thing. I almost guarantee it. I guarantee you it's gonna be like a plot, not even like a plot point, but oh yeah, by the way, bird person's back to normal now. I can see it.
Right, we'll just fucking like sweep it under the rug. Yeah, everything that the fans think is gonna be a big deal will be solved in like 2 seconds off screen.
Okay, and brain chip removed.
Like how they thought it was gonna be like a whole multi-season like show spanning plot to take down the Citadel and shit, and it was 1 episode.
Like, yeah, they really have that great fucking ability to subvert expectations here.
Subverting expectations. It's so funny too because I'm just like, they really killed Tabby.
Oh yeah,
that bitch dead.
I was like, oh shit, they actually killed her. I was like, oh god.
I was just watching the finale in the break room at work. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's funny we were both watching on break. I was watching it waiting for a truck. So we're so like not like a big like we're not sitting at a big TV. We're just like on our phones.
Yeah, and just like glad I'm fucked off in the corner. I was reading B-Stars and watching this.
Watching your
furry shit. About it too.
Oh yeah, I am literally fucked off in the corner reading that furry shit.
Anyway, as you're saying, Thurman.
Because I had to ask my little cousin if he liked it, because he actually loves Rick and Morty. The 12-year-old, well, 13-year-old now.
The fucking punk ass bitch.
Punk ass bitch.
The one that's got a fucking attitude and thinks he's tough shit for being 12.
Oh. I mean, they're both like that. So when you say that, you're generalizing, because they're both like that.
All right, Thurman, you got to beat some ass, Thurman. They're a little too full of themselves.
It's like, bitch, get away from my Xbox.
I'll let life do that for them. Life will definitely kick your ass more than I ever could. It's done it for everyone else.
Final thoughts, Thurman.
None, bro. Like, keep it up. Justin Roiland, Dan Harmon, I'd love to meet you guys. You ever watch this video?
Maybe at a con one day.
You ever watch this video on
Bro,
this?
yeah, if you ever watch this video, you get 50 minutes in, somehow.
I
Hit us up.
definitely.
Great. Well, he lives in Vegas, so probably more of a chance to hit him up.
Yeah, I don't picture them coming. Well, I mean, Dan Harmon seems like he likes some beer.
Anyway, go ahead, Thurman.
Dan, you both deserve all the love and support you guys get. You guys have made a beautiful show. Literally, I love it. It's actually, I heard Bojack Horseman was similar, but that shit actually ended.
I'll be honest, I've been trying to watch some episodes of that. It's alright. I didn't really get into it.
I'm definitely gonna watch that because I actually saw an episode of it. It's actually not that bad.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan from I watched like a couple of the first
was
season episodes.
was it pre-time skip bread or post-time skip bread?
No, this was like a month ago. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I just didn't. It really did not. It did not seem like interesting at all, like Rick and Morty. It just seemed like a fucking normal, like, I don't know, soap opera with like darker themes, but the main character's a horse for some reason. Like that's all I
It
got
does
of
get very, very good.
I imagine it gets really good later.
It's
Yeah.
probably one of the.
It's that slow burn,
Mm.
but
I mean, like literally, like one of the first episodes was just about like, oh, okay, well my assistant. Or like my the child star that used to be in my show is now like a drug addict and I'm helping her, and it was just very like, okay, the jokes didn't land with me. I was just like, whatever.
yeah.
But I have heard from everyone. The person that was trying to get me into it was Catherine, my best friend's girlfriend, and she says, yeah, it gets like more and more amazing. So
Yeah, it really does. Definitely recommend getting.
either
through
way,
it.
Rick and Morty.
And peace.
Yeah, peace. Let's end this.